Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. About 21 minutes left to go in the trading day. Just closing out some positions here. Beautiful turnaround in bear call spreads in Vail Mountain Resorts, closing out this 150, 155. That up until a couple days ago wasn't looking too hot. This is why you stay in trades if your commit criteria are still solid. Vail Mountain Resorts has been down about 10, 15% in the past couple days. So beautiful bear call spreads on there. And holding all the other positions until tomorrow. We're going to talk about the president's press conference at 6 tonight, because that could be a potential bullish turnaround for this market. Real quick, though, wanted to cover something, because I did one of those ugly videos this morning, and a lot of people who apparently just do drive-bys of these briefs and really don't listen to the words that I say. A buddy of mine on Facebook, and then somebody I don't know on YouTube about, you criticize people and now you change your. Like I said, you're clearly ignorant if you don't see how positions evolve. 2.5 months ago, I was the one screaming back here that the country needed to close. This wasn't just the flu, it was a biological weapon. It's been accidentally released. It's going to kill a lot of people. Shut it down. If we had shut this country down for 2 weeks, folks, it's a virus. Remember your biology from freshman year in high school? It dies if you starve it. We didn't starve it. So for the moron on my YouTube page who doesn't understand what I was saying, yeah, at the beginning, I was furious at people on Lake Boca and stuff like that. We had the opportunity to shut down and kill it. Everything shut down. The only thing that stayed open, should have stayed open, was pharmacies and drugstores. That's it. Everything else stops. Mortgage payments, rent payments, everything should have stopped, and we would have stuffed it out perfectly. What happened? This happened, which I predicted, and we printed money on. But when now those days are over, folks. It's too late to contain it. Now we have got to get back to work. Do you not see how you can change how that position evolves from you didn't listen to shutting it down, and a lot of people are going to die if you don't do this, to, okay, now that you didn't, weeks later, and we're looking at the macroeconomic data, a hell of a lot more people are going to die as a result of this economic fallout than would have with the virus. Is it that hard to understand? If it is, you clearly are not that intelligent. You don't go into battle, folks, with here's our game plan for this battle, and then facts and things change, and you sit there and go, I'm not changing my battle plan because this is what I came in here with. What are you, stupid? No plan, no military plan survives the first bullet shot at you by the enemy. Conditions change, and the conditions that change for me to change is the fact that we're going to enter a depression. I don't want that to happen. So of course I'm going to go support my barber, and I'm not a hypocrite. You're an idiot if you didn't listen to me 2 months ago, and your 401k is a 01k. Of course I changed my position. Okay, I can still sit here and say shut it down and let's all go into a depression. That makes no sense. Can't stand ignorant people. And the one guy, well, I didn't watch all your briefs, but wow, you've really swung your pendulum. What? Pay attention, man. Possible Chinese nuclear testing stirs U.S. concern. That's fantastic. Our aircraft carriers are crippled. Their aircraft carriers are sailing through the Strait of Taiwan. Our economy's on our ass, and they're lighting off nukes. I mean, you can't make this up. And also, shockingly, they might be the first one to get a vaccine. Fan-freaking-tastic. Not only do we get 95% of our medication from China, but they're also potentially going to get the first vaccine. That's just super. Brazil continues to be a heartbreak. I think Bolsonaro is going to clip his health minister. I mean, it's ridiculous. The guy's an idiot. Like I've been saying, he's been making Trump look like he's stable. I mean, the president down there is just Trump on steroids. Don't wear a mask. Get back to work. This thing's a cold. Get over it. I mean, Trump ain't that bad, folks, but he's literally in danger. He's killing people in Brazil, Bolsonaro. I used to be a Bolsonaro supporter. The Trump of the tropics. Now the dude's just risking people's lives. But at the end of the day, so here's, speaking of the idiots who watch my YouTube videos sometimes, this is also what I said. Brazil should have shut. This guy is so ignorant, though. Folks, world leaders don't go apeshit over it's just the flu. They all knew on the back radio, folks, what this thing was from China. Deadly. So you had two choices: either shut it down and take mitigation efforts, or ignore it, which is what Bolsonaro's doing. So he's going, he's not even doing the let's socially distance. The dude's like in crowds, shaking hands and kissing babies. So he's gone the full, not even pass go route. Why? Because he's worried about their economy. He's like, hey man, this is just not, we can't do this. We can't do even social distancing in Brazil, man. I mean, Manaus is getting destroyed. All these governors, even former Bolsonaro supporters, governors, the governor of Rio, he was a huge Bolsonaro supporter. He's like, no, this guy's nuts. Oil is still a train wreck. Let's get to this. This was the biggest news of the day. This morning, 5.2 million additional Americans. On a bad week, the 0.2 was bad. Now we got a 5 in front of a decimal point, folks. My God. Well, the market crashed today, didn't it, Wiz? No, it didn't. It went up. Look at this. I told you this, 2,800. I said, folks, it's over with. This is horrific. I never in my lifetime thought I would see these numbers. I think this is low. I think at the bottom of this whole thing, we might see 30, 35, worst case scenario, 40 million Americans out of work. And I'd say about half those don't ever go back to what they were doing. I mean, even if we reopen, as the president wants to talk about tonight, how do you socially distance in a restaurant, man? Is every other table, is the cooks wearing, the world has changed. But let me remind you, folks, that what you're seeing on your screen, the S&P 500 is not the economy. I predicted during this implosion, folks, that eventually we would go up because of, you ready? COVID fatigue. The market doesn't care anymore, folks. It's looking past. The market looks forward and it's looking past. Yesterday was awful. Awful March. Industrial production and retail sales. Look at this chart, folks. Look at the lowest industrial production, September 2008. Look at yesterday's number. And that's rearward facing. I'll bet you April's number is, they're going to need another page on the web page here. But remember, it doesn't matter. Investing is dead. World's largest asset manager says, we're just going to buy whatever the central banks are buying. Whatever the Fed's doing, we're doing. Goldman Sachs. I was this guy. This is another reason for the ignorant, stupid people that don't understand how positions shift. 2 weeks ago, folks, I was this guy. 2 weeks ago, I said, there is a distinct possibility we retest these March lows. Absolutely, positively, we have to retest these lows. That was me. Then what happened? Last Thursday at 8:31 a.m., that completely changed when the Federal Reserve ended capitalism. That's it. The day the music died, the day capitalism died was last Thursday. I will always remember that date. April 9th, I'm like, done. That's it. The Federal Reserve is buying ETFs, ladies and gentlemen. The Federal Reserve is saying, it's like the Pope coming out saying hell doesn't exist. Party on. But this is a moral hazard, folks. You can't fight the Fed. So last week, again, 2 weeks ago, I'm like, whoa, we're heading down here. We're heading to a depression, everything. It's awful. And then that happened. The United States, the Fed, the Treasury, has thrown more than $6 trillion at this. I don't care how many times you work out a day. You're not fighting the Fed. You're going to lose. So just like my position on, hey, we need to shut it down. Oh, okay, nobody listened. Now we need to open it up. Changed. Same thing here. What did Colin Powell say? Never get so close to your position that when the facts change, you don't change. Use your brain, man. $6 trillion. But here's the moral hazard. I talked to people. I talked to that barber, my barber, yesterday. He's like, I didn't see a dime. Wall Street getting fatter while Main Street starves. That is not a pleasant headline, especially for that kind of guy who wants to run for re-election. Remember in 2008, Wall Street getting bailed out, Occupy Wall Street, how dare you, we need to throw Wall Street CEOs in prison. Well, guess what's going on right now? Little Steve Mnuchin and Jerome Powell from the Fed are helping a boatload of hedge funds, banks, and people, and it ain't you. How's that make you feel? Do you think the Federal Reserve or the Secretary of the Treasury would have a press conference today saying, hey, we bailed out A, B, and C firm, just to let you know? No, they're not doing that, folks. That is not a good look for this country. That is not bullish for a society. But I will tell you, wearing my flight suit, I think it stinks and it's a disgrace. Wearing my Armani Gordon Gekko outfit, I think it's fantastic and I'm bullish and the market's going up. I'm here to make money. Not here to make friends. I'm here to make money and to teach people how to trade options. Right? Oh, there's a chart of Vail Mountain Resorts. Look at this. Bam! We pounded Vail into the dirt. Great looking trade. FXI, we traded earlier today. Got bullish. Look at what we did today, man. At 9:45 this morning. You see this? 9:45. We caused this ETF to go up 0.7%. Fantastic move out of that. We did that at Top Gun. Let's see what we ended up with. The 39, 8,000. We hit several of my buddies' unusual options activity scanners. Isn't that great? We did that. Top Gun Options moved the market today. Very, very proud of that. Holding an EWZ, nice rally into the close. Look at that. Off the lows of the day, Brazil. So I got to close out these mountain trades. Hold on the EWZ. I got some Apple that I'm long in here. But 6 o'clock tonight, the president's going to talk about, hey, we got to reopen this economy. We have got to reopen this economy. Andrew Cuomo, nope, another 2 weeks, middle of May. Folks, those two have to talk, man. We got Captain Bly here and Acting Lieutenant Fletcher Christian. We need them to talk. There's got to be a happy medium between getting back to work and not, killing more people. Folks, people die. Nobody listening to this brief is going to make it out of here alive. It's just a matter of when and how you die. Do you want to die of drugs or suicide or because you've lost your job, you've lost your house and everything because of this pandemic? Let me reiterate, folks, you didn't listen to me 2 months ago. The president didn't listen to his advisors. I know for a fact. Now it's too late. Now we have to accept death. That's not an evolving position. That's called using your brain, which some of you probably need a little bit of help on. Okay, I got to get going. I got to manage these positions into the close. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless.